Chaser, wanna vibe at a getaway. Shimmy, shimmy, I got the semi-fold weight. Don't step out the line like this a probate. You hit the line and try to locate. This for the time, got time for no day. One, too many, I'm going. Too crazy and I got bad ones and they ready. A good time, so now it's in the whip, we left that. Can't remember anything, but I know we got lit. Good times. Live in the moment, feel like summertime. Assassination, not a world mine. The room is spinning, but I feel fine. Oh my. Chandelier, limousine. Really think I'm seeing things. Read the line in mid-between. Yellow light, I gotta speed up.
Two coming through the middle. Artie up for three.
Namaste everybody and welcome to the New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship 2024, coming to you live from the National Hockey Centre and hosted by the North Harbour Indian Sports Club. Formerly QBT and KBT, the rebranded New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship is the pinnacle of competition for the New Zealand Indian hockey community and the place where many battles, rivalries and victories have taken place for over 60 years. This year's tournament is no different, with three divisions, Men's A, Men's B, and as we see out here, the Women's section. I'm Brad Pittman and we'll take you through all the action today and for the remainder of the 2024 tournament, brought to you by Local Gecko Productions and proudly supported by One Foundation. I'm joined in commentary by Hitendra Patel, who's been in here for the long stint. You're a seasoned veteran now, Hitu. The women's game we've got out here is bound to be a good one.
Yeah, agreed. Thanks, Brad, for the introduction. And Bay of Plenty and Pukekohe, both very good women's sides, and Pukekohe probably found some form after their last game, I thought, and Bay of Plenty, as they always do every year, with some real key players, and they've been performing quite well.
Yeah, as we see the two captains here, and you summed it up well, our last game for the day here on the main turf, women's section between Pukekohe and the Bay of Plenty. It's a big one here in the grand scheme of things, with it just being a round-robin format. Bay of Plenty can effectively create a final in tomorrow's game with a good result here. Puki, they haven't quite had things go their way, but you said found some form. They could play spoilers today and really throw a spanner in amongst the results here with an upset over Bay of Plenty, who, like I said, over the last sort of 4 or 5 years have been one of the dominant forces in the women's QBT and KBT. Our umpires out there in the middle for today, Kellyanne Foskin and Parry Patel. Good to have them out there, and we'll see the Puki ladies in the green and gold and Bay of Plenty in the pink strip this weekend. I saw it for the first time in the earlier game this morning. There's no missing your teammates out there with that one, too.
No way. And it's been a colourful tournament. Indians are always noted for their colourful sort of outfits and stuff, and no different here at this tournament. We've seen some pink, some orange, we've seen green, we've seen all sorts of colours.
Yeah, that's it. And it's the vibrancy speaks to the tournament, not only what happens on the field but off the field. Of course, we've got the social tonight, bit of food, bit of dancing, bit of everything else happening tonight, and such is the flair and passion that the Indian people show. So, representative, of course, of what we're expected to see as the two teams out there go through their final exchanges. As I mentioned, Bay of Plenty, they are unbeaten at the moment. They took down Wellington and Auckland before getting here. Pukekohe, they lost a shootout to Wellington, and then they lost to North Harbour this morning 2-1 in what was probably the game of the day. So with a win here, Bay of Plenty can create a final where they'll go against the other unbeaten team, North Harbour, in tomorrow's fixture. But they're still 60 minutes and a Pukekohe side away from that at the moment, Hitu. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right there, Brad. And Pukekohe will want to win themselves. Like I said before, they've shown some great signs in terms of what they can do, and they're supported by Fijian international Devianka Kumar, which is a great addition to this tournament and to the Pukekohe side.
Yeah, and I was speaking to Hamish just before the game as well. He was really proud of the way the ladies played this morning. Like he said, much improved. Things just started to click, and they could be on the face of an upset here if things continue that way. There's one player pretty determined to make sure it doesn't happen. Kashona Fitzgerald, one of the premier goalkeepers in the country, let alone this tournament. We've seen her time and time again here at this tournament, at Heritage, stand up and be one of the best on the field. So look for a huge performance. She's captaining the team as well today. And we're underway here. Puki, right to left on your screens, first use of it in the green and gold. And there's the free hit for Jaina Suka. And here come Bay of Plenty, straight up the middle of the field. It's Priya Kang, who, if I'm not mistaken, was part of the coaching team in the recent Heritage Hockey Tournament with NZI.
Yep, she was one of our coaches that is also showing signs that she can play too. So
yep.
Cool to just have that connection. She's been part of the NZI as a coach, and now she's able to play the tournament as a player, which is awesome.
And big transfer here by Bay of Plenty. Just a little untidy on the receipt. Coming forward now. Puki. This is the second game of the day for both these teams. So forgive a little bit of fatigue as it starts setting in. Short format tournament. The ladies have to play 4 games in the 3 days. No easy feat.
Seedal Patel there. Another one that, on NZ Heritage for NZ Indian. She's the trusted manager and now out there playing as well. So super cool to see her out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of NZI, it would be hard not to mention she finally made her debut at this year's Heritage. Oriwa Hepi, who's out there, of course, for Bay of Plenty. A long-timed rival of the NZI teams playing for the New Zealand Māori side, but this year donning the white and blacks of the NZI team and out here representing with her Bay ladies again.
Yeah, really cool to have Oriwa as part of our group this year, and she's a wealth of experience and was great, on and off the field, which is super cool for the group.
And these, you mentioned these two teams with a pretty storied history in this tournament. Puki and Bay, like I said, Bay been on the winning side, I think 3 of the last 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. They always have pretty good battles with North Harbour in recent years, but Puki a mainstay as well in the women's comp, so this one I'm sure will be no different. Here comes Lal there. Minjot Lal.
Yeah, well held up in that front third there. Good skills.
Yeah, and Shinsia Golden there, I think, kept it in on the baseline. Oh! And you can't let that roll all the way through to Oriwa Hepi. Interestingly, it's usually the other way around, Hepi to Golden. That time they link up going the other way. And we were just speaking about it. Oriwa Hepi there. Look at it on the One Foundation replay. Golden did so well to keep that in. I'm not sure how she kept it. And just like that, you cannot leave somebody like that unmarked in the circle.
No, I think, and a great ball in by Michaela there on that right-hand side, to feed off the great work from Shen there. But as she does, Oriwa, she finds herself in some great space. It's always one of the harder ones to mark where there's no one there and then all of a sudden someone's on your back post.
Yeah, timing, exceptional, positioning, spot on, and the finish as well. So early advantage here to Bop, and not what Puki would have wanted after, like I said, a pretty good finish to their game. Well, they finished the better of the two sides this morning. against North Harbour. Didn't get the treats, but now they find themselves under pressure.
Oh, that was very sneaky. Well done there.
Yeah, Michelle Walding there. Just looking, and rolled it onto the foot of Jaina Suka, just inside the circle. And look at the smiles there of the ladies in pink.
Yep, Jaina, I think she might have thought she was outside, but I think she was slightly in there.
Yes, another look at that goal. Yeah, fantastic finish.
Yeah, she's been doing well, Orewa, but do we expect anything less from her? Probably not. She's been finding herself coming along that help side where no one can see her.
Yeah.
As they have another opportunity here, Bay Plenty.
Yeah, a couple of big hitters in Stacey and Manjot. It's going to be Stacey.
Stroke.
Can already stroke the call. We'll see it here. Yeah, I think they're pretty...
Cedar does not look happy about that one.
No, we've got the benefit of the doubt of watching it a couple more times, but I'm maybe wondering if it wasn't the Puki foot on the line. Hard to tell when it happens so quickly, but strokes the call, and now Mia Wallob's going to be called on in goal for Puki.
Oh,
and Manjot Lal just rolls it wide.
Probably a fair result after that one, Brad. You would have thought. Like, we have to make umpiring calls, but kind of the best outcome for both parties.
It's one of those situations where perhaps you're glad it didn't impact the final result of the game and the scoreboard. So, a timely miss, may it be that.
Yeah, we're always lucky at the next level where you do get the benefits of a replay and a challenge, and it can't happen out here, and
Oh, here's some skill. Yeah, Tamar working in that baseline entry, but well defended by Puki, and out they come. And getting the free hit.
Great roll there by Sugar, just taking on the inside very comfortably. Oh, nicely 1-2.
You get it back here, and the next one as well. Devyanka just rolls it inside channel. It was the right idea. Audio had read it one way, and Devyanka tried to roll it in on the overread. Just a little lack.
A little bit too far ahead in terms of Devyanka. She had the right idea. Unfortunately for her player, just wasn't quite on the same page there, but right intent.
Here is Audio back onto the ball. Look at that, threaded a pass. And it's going to fall there for Michaela Wepper. They drop it back a couple of times back to Audio.
Oh, great tackle.
Yeah, fantastic work there. And Sapna Madav for Puki. She was good this morning as well.
Yeah, very good this morning. She's very feisty, very in the game a lot.
Yeah.
Works really hard.
She is now going to try and put some pressure on. That one down the line. Tamar. And she'll win the free hit just outside the circle. It's going to fall there for Audio Happy. Beats one. It's around the other. Still trying to get it under control though. Excellent defensive work there. It's Anjali Panchia.
Up to the task. Had to be made.
Yeah. Tough when you go and take Audio on one-on-one like that, but really well done. A couple little attempts to try and break through here from Bad Plenty. Well turned away though by Puki.
Yeah, the defensive's holding strong. Good for Puki. They're applying the right enough pressure. They're coming out to the play there.
They've big transfer across the field here. Bop. Oh, nice little show and go. Up it goes, but clear enough. How's the little 1-2 show there on the way in from Bop? A silky little bit of skill.
Yeah, again, just some great talent coming through in this tournament. We're seeing lots on the men's side, but equally the women's side competition's been not only tough, but some real great showcases of skill.
Yeah. It's a big intercept, yeah. Top of the circle. We're going to get another one up the middle here, Pookie. Perhaps rather fortunate, but... And now we'll take a little moment to get it on the right spot.
Just a little breather in a pretty fast-paced game from the start.
Yeah, this Bay Plenty team like playing at a quick pace. They like having a crack going forward. Well, Pookie, if they can string these passes together, it's a little unfortunate. Yeah, here's Tamar.
There's the credit to Yanka
Yeah.
Kumar.
I'd like to see one of these teams just try and stamp a little bit of control over the next little period. And rather than getting 2-1 out, I said tired legs and second game of the day for both teams. It's starting to look that way a little bit in these last couple of minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Just unforced errors is what we start to see when the legs get tired.
Oh, Angeli Panchia.
Great work from Angeli Panchia.
Yep.
Just nice and calm. Just keep the ball on her stick. Earns a free hit. And now Pukekohe can try create an attack here, which they haven't quite done this game so far.
Yeah, similar to this morning. They just took a little bit to warm into their attack. Unfortunately, it seems to be a common occurrence that it takes them conceding a goal to finally lock things up and start building forward. Similar to this morning, and I know their game yesterday as well.
There they go, looking for Shen. Here she comes in. Came off the sub and straight to the bullseye.
Yep. Yep, for those that were with us in Christchurch, you remember some of the heroics in a final. Audi were happy just delivering them on dots to Shinsia Gowden there for Bay of Plenty, won them the title in the end. I want to say 3 goals if it's not 2 to her name in the final. So that's a connection that they've had going for a little while. And Pookie, they'll work their way up towards halfway with a sideline hit there. And Hitu, of course, part of your role and part of this tournament is the identification and selection process for athletes looking at the next level, NZI camps and trainings and teams. How does that sort of happen through this weekend in terms of selectors or committees, discussions, panels, etc.? Just talk us through what that looks like, although we might have a quick one. Yeah.
Almost. Yeah, look, we've got a few selectors watching each grade. We select tournament teams for all 3 grades, but then we're also looking at the wider squad for New Zealand Indians to play in the Heritage Tournament, potentially, if we can in the 12-month period, provide other opportunities.
Yep.
And this year I feel like we're quite lucky. There's just an abundance of talent out there, which makes our lives difficult. We've probably got too many players looking good, and so that makes it tough. At the same time, we try to build a secondary list of junior players, and that list is becoming bigger and bigger, which is just great for the depth of New Zealand hockey.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, at previous tournaments, whether it's the day before or opportunities, I think at 23s you did with the ladies, is just creating some camp environments for those high-performance players.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's been probably one of the positives, being able to get players, and especially on the women's side. We started off with maybe 6 or 7. At the last camp we had about 10, and it's just about growing the game because we're generally quite focused on the men's, and I think the thing that we've changed now is the women's get exactly the same thing as we see that long pass again from Bay of Plenty. And I think that's kudos to the women's side to be willing to do that, and you saw it in our performance, I guess, at Heritage, where each and every year the women's teams get better and better. Yeah,
and I think I've got to make mention too, not only the performances, but for the first time fielded a fully Indian side at Heritage this year on the women's side. So, obviously growth is there, and it's successful what you guys are doing, and by the look of the junior stuff that was out there today, even more potential for growth on both sides of the game. So it's exciting.
Yeah, exactly right. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what happens and unfolds in the next couple of years. Bay Plenty with another attack.
Yeah, entry across it goes. It was lovely work there initially from Chaz Fitzwalter, and then up the front was Shen up there as well. Just trying to find somebody on that back post. And here come Puki trying to play small out of their own end. Little error there. It's going to invite Bay Plenty back in.
Pukekohe absorbed a lot of pressure in this first quarter and probably expected to do so, but here goes Orewa again and earns himself a penalty corner.
Yeah, but just penalty corner coming there. Again, Settle asking perhaps what for. A little scrappy at the top. I think Orewa just got caught up a little bit on her, checked on her way through. So we see it here, 1-2. Just perhaps that leg challenge there from Charmaine Leatham. Enough for the penalty corner, and the ladies in pink, they'll chat about it. Last corner they had Stacey Wepper hitting on the first bracket. This time looks like Manjot Lal there on the single bracket. Chaz Fitzwalter to pull the ball out. Layoff from Lal, Heppy with a little flick, and in it goes. Exceptional finish from Orewa. She adds to her game and tournament tally.
Yep, smart play there. Orewa just coming on that left-hand side of the circle as we see it here again.
Yeah, really want to make mention of just the timing from Manjot Lal, just to hold the ball up a little bit longer, invite Jane Asuka, the first runner out, 2 more steps, and then really creating no chance for anyone to get anywhere near Orewa there. It is a real skill. Often you see that pass go too early or too hard or in front of the person. That's really well executed on all parts for Bay Plenty. And what a time to score as well. They go into the break up 2-0 here over Pukekohe.
Yeah, exactly right. And yeah, fair result, I think, so far. And Pukekohe have got a bit to build on there. Haven't quite executed the attacks as much as they probably wanted to, but they've absorbed a lot in their defence, and yeah, they find themselves 2-0 down.
Yeah, it's a side that have made the most of their opportunities too, Bay Plenty. There haven't been a huge number of them, but look, when you do things like this, you execute there, you can really make any team pay. Puki forced to do a fair bit of defending around the edges of the circle. Put that in there.
Makes
great finish.
Yeah, great ball in. And
this is the first corner, straight shot, which ended up being called a penalty stroke. This one, not going to make any highlight reels. Manjot Lal can't help but smile at herself afterwards. And this, the corner that set it all up. We were happy there, going on a run across the top of the circle, and check this out. Just see the timing there, just a touch.
Yeah. Smart play by Bay Plenty, I think, in terms of it did kind of make you wonder, Orewa not being at the top, what was going to be the variation, and sure enough, it was going to be the slip to her on the left-hand side.
Yeah, and they developed that by also not using her on the first one. Yeah. So Stacey hit on the first one, Manjot was also at the top, so then when you thought, okay, well, Stacey's off, Manjot's going to hit. And sure enough, they had a little lace up the sleeve there, that little left layoff. Excellent execution. We see our ladies out there getting ready to come back out onto the pitch. It's Bay Plenty up 2-0 after the first 15 here. Puki with some work to do. Ladies, you've got to earn your ticket to the disco tonight. And, you've got 45 minutes to dig in and do it.
Yeah, exactly right. And, you know, we talk about it every game, but there's a long way to go.
Yeah, and I'm sure S-Man will shout the whole team tickets if they can pull it back and upset the Bay here. The Puki ladies. It's Jane Asuka. Their first use of it here. If you're just joining us, this is our 5th and final game for day 2 here at the New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship 2024. It's been an epic 2 days so far. Hitu, I'm pleased you've joined us for most of it, and there's been some really good games. I think capped off by that exciting one you had in the last match, Waikato getting a buzzer beater win over North Harbour.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a pleasure to be here and obviously have yourself and Local Gecko Productions being able to broadcast this to our community, and some great showcases, as we've always talked about. I mean, the game and competition this year has got even stronger. We've got more teams this year. And as we've seen in the A grade and even the women's grade, just every game has been a real tight contest, regardless of the scoreline, you know.
Yeah, that's it. And we mentioned briefly with also the addition and innovation of the junior opportunity that happened alongside this morning. Great initiative there by the North Harbour Indian Sports Club to offer that. It's growing, and it's obvious by the sheer number of people around the turf this weekend just how successful it's all been.
Yeah, you speak of the crowd, and I think today has been one up from yesterday. We thought yesterday was good, and the crowd's really turned up, and potentially a result of the youth games that you talked about. But really cool on the grandstand side how big the crowds have been today. Yeah,
look, after an earlier game, I went over to try and watch the Auckland versus Wellington men's A match. I couldn't get a spot on the fence. I went and picked up my samosa and had to stand 3 rows back. It was like a cage fight over there. Everybody on the edges of the fence, clawing to see what was happening, and it's epic. Such a cool weekend here, and looking forward to another good one tomorrow. To see that one, just beat them all over the back line. And of course, for those that have been joining us over the weekend, it's finals day tomorrow. Obviously, there's finals playoffs for the men's A section. Men's B and women's, they'll finish the remainder of their pool games, their round robin games, to determine who wins those sections. And if it stays how we are out here at the moment, it'll pretty much be a final between Bay of Plenty and North Harbour. As here comes Shen Gowden and Manjot Lal.
Not quite linking up, but great turnover there by Shen, and great pace down that right-hand side. Just unfortunate to not link up with Manjot in the middle there.
And off go, Bay of Plenty into the mixer.
Yeah, nice work there. Michaela, again, I think one of the players that has been having a pretty good tournament for Bay of Plenty, just showcasing her skills and her strength, and themselves a penalty corner.
Yeah, we see the replay here. Takes quickly, finds a little bit of space on the outside, tangle up, then onto the foot there. So, yeah, well done, well worked. Yeah, excellent stuff there by Michaela Wepper. It's quite cool to see here. There's a few of these Bay of Plenty ladies who also participate in the New Zealand Māori tournament. So, affiliate to both the Indian heritage and Māori heritage as well. And these aren't just out here for one tournament. They've been here for the last few years. So, here is Stacey Wepper. Great defence. Well,
save. Can they get it? Oh, here we go.
Here she is. Sugar. She's got a couple of players ahead if she can link up.
Still going on the ball. Oh, that's a great tackle.
Yeah, that's an excellent poke tackle there.
Needed to happen. The crowd loved that one.
Yeah. Would love to see Sugar just roll the ball out. This is that shot. Look at that. Stop dead on the spot. That's where your second runner is. And then they broke out from there. Yeah, would love to have maybe see if she could link up, break on the inside rather than around the outside of the Bay of Plenty defender.
Nice and composed there by Bay of Plenty, just to work that ball out of defence. That was a pretty good attack from Pukekohe. They haven't had many this game so far, but they did showcase what they can do if they are on the go as they come again.
Yeah, they go again. Yeah, this is... they look good when they can turn the ball over in the high press, like up in that attacking third. If they can turn things over and then get it going quickly, that's where they do look the most likely, I think, this Puke team. They have to break down the Bay of Plenty team away from Orewa as much as possible, as much as it's not about one player. If they can, they've just got a little bit better opportunity to get through rather than having to build right from the back. So have a look at that high press when it works for Puke to trigger their attack.
Yeah, exactly right. And they're just going to keep pushing on with some pressure and, as you said, switch it to the other side and start building up as they come down the left-hand side with a bit of an unforced turnover.
Yeah, and unfortunate too, because I think the aim was going to be to roll it down the T-bar for Sugar to get on her bike, and unfortunately on the bike goes Orewa beating 1-2 anybody who wants it. Probably unfortunate not to go back for the earlier free hit, but
well managed there by Jane Asuka.
And just a couple of times there, I think the players unaware of whose free hit it was and weren't quite sure. This one brought down by Fredrickson.
Yeah, always a case if you don't look up and you feel like it's your free hit, you take off and then you realise, oh, no, that's not my free hit.
And this one looks like it's going to be a long corner here for Bay Plenty.
Just taking their time.
Yeah. Just making sure they get it
position.
right on the spot. And exit with the overhead, and back into the middle of the mixer they go.
Sugar again there with her defensive traits.
Yeah, I thought she's been pretty impressive this game and the last one, just showing a little bit on that defensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, agreed, and you can see it with her communication as well. She's trying to organise that press really early, getting her other strikers in play.
Oh, strong turn and elimination. Turned
Still
away.
in play here.
Yep. I'd love to see that little elimination again. I don't think Cedar wants to see it any more than she already had to, but it was a nice little ice and dice right in front of her.
Yeah, good then to lay off as well. You know, like we know the type of player that Orewa can, and she could have easily gone and taken the shot, but it's passed off, made a good decision, and almost a near goal. But well done to Puki for keeping that one out.
Cedar with the little drag rip there.
Yeah,
got it
usually
going.
gets the long handle out. This time she's called out a different skill, but
maybe she was listening earlier and showing her. She goes, "No, I've got more in the bag than that." Showing us all the tricks, and here come Puki on the break. Great tackle. And it's starting to stretch out a little bit here, Hitu. You can see players stretch right up and down the field. Manjot Lal.
Yeah, the game is getting pretty stretched out, and players need to remember there's still a 1 half to go, you know, so tired legs might happen now. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah, that's it, and both teams still with games to play tomorrow as well.
And as you alluded to it, if Bay of Plenty get across the line today, they're going to probably need some legs to play against, you know, the inform of North Harbour. Yeah,
who have also had a rest this afternoon too. They're not playing this afternoon. This is their bye round. So they could be coming in looking pretty good come tomorrow morning. And looking good is Orewa Hepi. Beats
Still
1-2. Tried to beat her own teammate there.
Few opportunities there, well defended.
Yeah, I think Jasmine Fitzwalter might have made the tackle of the tournament on Orewa Hepi, her teammate, there in the middle of the circle. Had a little laugh about it in the end.
Still not out of danger here, Puki, or
just unforced, a little bit too far in front of Michelle Alding there. Didn't need to be. Had plenty of time out here. As we close in on about 5 minutes left in this first half, Puki under a bit of pressure coming out of their own end. That's not where you want to go. Oh, that was the bravery to go through Orewa's legs.
Very brave. I was about to say, it doesn't look like many options to get out of this one, but they've done well.
Oh, I think it was Charmaine Alethan there.
Not sure that was the easiest route, but it's worked for them.
And here's the turnover. Here's where I like to see Puki launch that attack from. If they can connect. Yeah, lovely.
Oh, great ball.
And there's another one if they can get it going. Back to Divyanka. Oh, again.
It's a great combination around the back there.
Diving save.
Yep, I
Up
thought
into
so.
the body.
Yeah, there was a foot in there before as well. Great play, Debbie Kumar, showing some of the flair with that. Look at this back pass. Oh,
Not often do people get, they're on the foot, and that one also into the body either. Not often do players get the plaudits for 2 passes, but both of them, the little snap wrist one here in the middle of the field, and then that under the leg overlap you saw there. And you mentioned Div over an international player over for this year's tournament, linking up with Puki, so cool to have her.
In the Harbour competition for East Coast Bays,
Yep.
Which is pretty cool for her. Get some NZ hockey in.
Layoff. I'll get another one. That's where I think you just see the subtlety there. Ball way too fast. That little pass, when it's coming that quick and you're trying to open hand one time sweep at that, you can see her just roll over it because it just came in way too hot. So some little subtleties there in execution. I get a reset though. Let's have a look at it. Oh, this time Charmaine Aletham goes route 1 and with the roadblock at the end of the street. Kishona stick save out over the line. That's impressive stuff there. She moves so well.
Yeah, well read by Kishona, and we know the talent of Kishona in goal, and it's almost like you say it like she's still got it's a hard save to make, but she makes it look so easy.
Oh, yeah. As you might have just seen at the top of your screen there, the Bop Indian bloke running around the penalty corner gear with 2 minutes left in the second quarter before they switch ends after they've just defended the corner.
Bravery to still defend it. Sometimes you see players just calling it. They're not going to run down until they get the gear, but Bad Plenty were like, no, we'll stop this one anyway.
Yeah, I think in that defensive huddle, the word was, we'll leave it to Kishona. She's got her gear on. Up to it, the captain there. As we just see one go through the circle.
Yeah, you spoke about it before. I think it's those little execution pieces where when you don't have too many chances, those little things do count.
Yeah.
And for Pukekohe, that will be, a chance that will go rowing in this game, being 2-0 down. And against a very good goalkeeper who will continue to keep this Bay of Plenty side in play.
Yeah, that's it. It's one thing to execute the skill. You've also then got to break down Kishona in goal. So, they're going to really have to be on song, this Puki side, to get goals. Free hit there going the way of Bay of Plenty. Here is Michaela Wepper, throws one out in front. Got there. A lot of time too. They're just backing off.
They're not quite wanting to press.
Yeah, interesting. Perhaps aware of the long ball, the crash ball threat of Bay of Plenty. Oh,
so close.
Yeah, very nearly. Audio Hepi was dancing all over it. But they get it going across goal and almost on the far post there. Very nearly. Bay of Plenty. You see, players looking for a sub, wants a breather. Don't blame them. It's pretty fast paced. Yep.
But no, stayed on. The moment's probably fair to say, Bay of Plenty are playing some good hockey, but makes you wonder if Pukekohe can starve Odio off the ball, how that might change the game, because here she goes again.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a stroke.
Wow, that's a huge call there, considering how many players were still in the mixer. I'm not sure there was a real deliberate infringement in there. Yeah, there was a couple of questionable ones. Have a look at it here. Takes the free hit quickly. On the inside and outside. It's, a couple of little swings at it.
We'll take the fifth on this one too, Brad, I think. Well done.
Yeah, they're not going to put 2 of them on the outside of the goal. Bay of Plenty ladies. There's the Sally as well. And the high five. Goal going the way of Michaela Wepper. The penalty stroke.
Well deserved, I think. Michaela stepping up to the plate there. I think, she's playing some good hockey. even in this game, you know, she's stating her dominance, just well controlled in that midfield region for Bay of Plenty.
Yeah, that's it. She's really, we've seen her develop, you know, over the last sort of 2 years of tournaments. She's been here, been at the Māori tournament, the Heritage Hockey, where we've been able to see her, you know, play a few times and growing into a bit of a leader in this Bay of Plenty side as well. So, yeah, awesome to see her get herself on the scoreboard. And again, right on time. Didn't notice it, but right at the end of the quarter there, they extend that one out to 3-0 here, Bay of Plenty over Pukekohe. They've got a field goal, they've got a penalty corner, and they've got a penalty stroke. So,
one of each.
Yep. 3 aces at the moment. Last one is just coming via the win, and they're well on their way to it at the moment. Pukekohe, they've got a lot of work to do if they're to play spoilers here. And I think the biggest thing is, I think they'll be a little disappointed that they didn't carry on from the way they finished this morning's game. You know, like I said, I spoke to them earlier, and they were pretty proud of the way they played. And I would have just loved to see them start fast and start with some of that same attack that they finished with, rather than, you know, get behind and have to chase the game. So I think they'll be disappointed. We'll have a look at some of those highlights in just a moment. But before that, a quick ad break, and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everybody, here to the New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship 2024. You're having a live look at the social scene of the tournament, as well as a little bit of view there of one of the back turfs, turf number 2 over there at the moment. And, of course, back here to turf number 1, which is our women's section between Bay of Plenty and Pukekohe. Bay of Plenty in screen there. It's quite cool. Hitu just breaking up into their layers, discussing, you know, what was working, what they need to improve on, and player-led stuff, which I think is pretty cool as well.
Yeah, amazing as we see the opening goal of the match. Odua finding herself on that back post there after some great work by Shen to keep that ball in play.
Yep, this one, and then the ball through that just beat everybody. Buried in the back of the net. That one by Odua. Had a couple of corners early in the game. This one, a little back and forth, stroke awarded, but then missed by Manjot Lal. Fortunately, no dice there, but Bay of Plenty, they'd create their own opportunities further in the game. This one by Odua Hepi, penalty corner. Have a look at this, just the little layoff timing. In the back it goes again. High fives all around for the Pink Tigers.
Yep, just the little subtleties of that. And great execution from Odua.
Yep. And this one, well defended, trapped dead on the spot, and it almost created a breakout for Puki. Have a look at this pass. Something special from Divyanka. And they earned their first penalty corner with the Puki ladies. We're back out here now. 3-0 the score, and overhead the first flavour of the day. And they're going to get a long corner for it too here at Bay of Plenty. If you're just joining us in the start of the third quarter, Bay of Plenty playing right to left on your screens in the pink and black. Puki in there coveted green and gold. And Bay of Plenty with the crash ball early doors. There's a couple of players in there too. Like
early opportunities there, and I think Pukekohe would have had a lot to say at halftime, and I think one of the key things will just be around getting their key players to get more involved in the game. You know, your Divyanka Kumar, Jane Asuka, and if they are able to do that, they might be able to peg some of this deficit.
Yeah, it is a tough battle for Puki, and Bay of Plenty do play quite a tough style to play against too. If you're not able to control things, and they play pretty physical, they've got a long ball threat, they're pretty confident playing aggressively. Puki, they're going to have to try and settle into their game plan, which I think is going to have to be to shorten things up, work their way forward, win a couple extra free hits, and then try and get numbers forward. It might be through a penalty corner, or it might be through widening the goal a little bit, but they're going to have to really take an opportunity if it presents itself.
Yeah, exactly right. And you saw it there before, just a few influential players getting on the ball. But Bay of Plenty, you know, showcasing their talents and skills, just, you know, able to retain the possession and There she is again. Never a time when she's not on the ball.
Yeah, she's never far from it. The action, Orua. It's nice little interplay there. And that one's going to be a bit big, I think. No, Shen's going to drag it in. It's an excellent ball in the end.
Yeah, one of those ones where we've learned is it's never out if Shen's on the field.
That's it. That's it. She's like the bumpers on the bowling alley. Who just keep things in when they're not supposed to be. Just flying across that baseline.
Jana and Michaela there on screen before, just having a chat around. I think they can't wait for the game to be over.
Yeah.
And hit the social, I think.
Yeah, that's it. I think both teams have their outfits already in their hockey bags, ready to hit the showers, hit the social, and enjoy the festivities of the tournament. 2 games in 1 day is never easy.
We could read for an interesting half, I think, with both sides, feeling the legs in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Bay Plenty, they've pretty much, they know if they can win this one, they'll have a big game against North Harbour tomorrow. I don't think they're going to be necessarily chasing goal after goal after goal and keeping this thing going, but just locking up their lead and consolidating this as much as possible without exerting too much effort, because if there's one thing I think they could potentially struggle with tomorrow, it might be the speed of North Harbour with them coming off a rest. So it'll be really interesting to see just the balance over these next sort of 15-20 minutes. Whereas if Puki can hit one early, well, then Bay Plenty are going to have to work. And the opportunity, we saw that result in a goal in the earlier game, that delivery through there to Darshna Dyer in the circle. That time, though, unable to pull it in. And Hitu, what's your messaging, as a coach? You're half-time, you're down 3-0. What sort of messaging, might you have expected from this Puki coaching lineup?
Here's an opportunity.
An opportunity to... I guess first thing you got to do is not concede the 4th one.
And they got out of that one. I think it's one of those ones where if you are down 3, just still staying composed. I mean, if one team can score 3 in one half, so can you. And I think it's just around retaining some ball possession and not overplaying the situation. I think a lot of teams find they have to force things when in actual fact it's better if you retain the ball and almost consolidate. If legs are getting heavy, you don't have to go full blazing, because again, that's where the gaps start opening up.
Yep.
So it's just probably playing a bit smarter.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. And you've seen it time and time again where teams get behind on the scoreboard and a bit of hero ball starts happening and a bit of tunnel vision and those sorts of things when there's still 30 minutes of hockey, 25 now, but plenty of time. If they just work their way forward, it's the little things. You don't have to score all 3 of them in the next 3 minutes.
No, exactly right. And we've spoken about in other games, if they can just find that, if they're the next ones to score, this game could be opened up and be a little bit different. And so to do that, you've got to be a bit more composed. You can't rush. Just hold that position, start bad, plenty of the ball, because then hopefully they'll start making their own mistakes.
Yeah. And like we saw North Harbour in the men's A section do, you've got to punish a team for their mistakes. This Bay Plenty team don't make many of them, certainly not in their own end. So if it does happen, you've got to have the players there to make them pay for it.
Yeah, and you spoke about it before, there's a case of breaking down the team, but they're also playing against a great goalkeeper with Kishona in goal, not always the easiest thing to do when you're in the circle.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Here come Bay Plenty on attack now up towards the 25-yard line. And that one whistle going the way of Puki. Shout out Parry, the ref Parry Patel over there. Always looking good, looking sharp. Nothing beats the Adidas shoes, Adidas hat combo.
He loves his umpiring, loves his hockey.
Yep.
He's been the coach of my kids over time, so he offers a lot back to the sport, which is, great.
Well, this is not what you want if you're Puki. They're rolling here. Oh, it wasn't the prettiest save from Mia Willab. It's not in the goal, which is a good thing, but it is a penalty corner here for Bay Plenty. And just that little unforced error coming out of their own end. Puke can't be doing that.
Didn't quite get the shot off, but again, just showcases, get ball on target, anything can happen.
Yep.
Always a difficult one for a goalkeeper when it's bouncy like that. And unfortunately for me, it's a penalty corner against.
Yeah, let's see what they've got from the short corner. Be interesting if, we saw that little left layoff they had. They might have some other variations, and I wonder, hits with the final coming up tomorrow, do you hold them? Do you practice them? Do you not let North Harbour potentially see what else you got?
Yeah, they've opted for a straight shot through Priya King there, it looks like it. It's always an interesting one, right? Because you don't generally get to practice as a group. So sometimes in games like this, when you are up, potentially that is the time to practice a variation and be prepared for tomorrow. Because end of the day, the opposition team have to defend it. Yeah,
and I think that's what we saw in the earlier men's game. North Harbour showing a couple of their variations when they were up. And this time, the slide right.
That's gone everywhere. Has it gone to the goal? Oh, no.
Another penalty stroke. Never have I ever seen 3 penalty strokes awarded against the same team in 35 minutes. Have a look at it.
That ball went everywhere. It's off there. Oh, Seedle's got it around her head.
Oh, Seedle's gone the hula hoop with it, wearing it as a necklace. The sliding deflection was quite an impressive one because the ball wasn't on the ground. That's gone in the corner.
Well
Tamar there has added another stroke to the Bay of Plenty score tally.
Handing it around now. They've had 3 different stroke takers. 2 of them have scored.
Yeah, I reckon Manjot Lal's going to want another go at it soon.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not sure they will now. No. She's had her opportunity. That was her chance. She'll have to wait for the next game, I think.
And, it was a crazy old penalty corner. That one, like I said, sliding deflection, slide right, I think had come in. Just got up off a couple of sticks and did a lap around Seedle's shoulders.
I haven't seen anything like that.
No.
But, neither have I seen 3 strokes in a game.
No.
But, credit to Bay of Plenty again. They're making the most of their opportunities and sort of making Pukekohe pay for some of the unforced errors.
Yeah, remember that one built up from a pretty cheap turnover, as I said.
That's better from Puke.
Better build up. Here's Dash. Still there through Jaina Suka. To the middle of the field, Sharmina, and it goes.
Oh, penalty corner.
Penalty corner, yeah. That one just either came off the back of the stick or lifted up into the player there. It was a little scrappy on the exit. See this lovely transfer, Sharmina just looking straight down the middle.
Good hunger there by, is it something in the middle there?
Yeah, that one just up into the body. So let's have a look at the Puke corner. They had a couple earlier, unable to score off them, of course. But perhaps now is the time to strike with 5 minutes left in this third quarter. Result probably too far away from them, you'd expect, but like they did this morning, you'd love to see them just get a little bit of a result.
Michaela again, just so solid, just stick out in front.
It's fantastic first running too. We saw it straight down the barrel, kept their stick in front of her legs and kept trucking forward.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit of a variation from Pukekohe. I mean, when you have good runners, sometimes those variations are the ones that are going to get you through. A bit mistimed there by Priya King off the 16 or free hit.
You got Divyanka, drops it off. Jaina Suka. Back to Divyanka and Suka again. She'll reload. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Off the line. Had to be done. Lost the first phase, but boy, oh boy, second phase there.
And that was probably the deflection of the day. Have a look at this little tuck under the arm here. Ball in from Jaina. That's incredible. That's money. That's going on Instagram in the next 3 to 4 hours, I can promise you that. Kashona, what a highlight.
Yeah, wow. And then again, you know, we've spoken about her before, but just such a talented keeper.
Yeah.
How do you get it past her when you feel like you've beaten her and then she still makes a save?
That deflection alone beats 99% of goalies. They don't even get a touch on it. It hits the backboard and it's all over. She's made a half first save and then rolling towards her line, dives back inward. That's
unreal.
special. Yep. That is special there from Kashona in goal for Bop to keep a clean sheet so far in this match. And isn't that just the example of a goalkeeper can really, you know, win or lose? I know it's not going to change the result of this one, but how deflated must you feel as Puki going, we've done everything there. There's nothing better we could have done, and we're still not.
Oh, that's exactly right. It's kind of deflating if you know you're trying so hard, and Pukekohe had a few chances there, and you got a great goalkeeper to play against, and you're 4-0 down on the scorecard, and you still can't buy that one. You know, another good turnover there by Puki.
Yeah, here we go. Is this the one? No, it's not. Run into it there. Unfortunate. Nisha Kana, and now gets her feet in the way again. And how much does it give the defenders an extra little boost of energy as well when you turn around and see your goalkeeper do that?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you talk about the first line of pressing sometimes in games, that's the driver, but when your goalkeeper's keeping you in. And
yep. Here's Divyanka. This is lovely. Oh, and who's come flying back there? Oriwa Hepi screaming it back down the middle of the field. Divyanka's been good today. She's not had a huge amount go her way, but man, she gets in everything.
Yeah, I mean, we saw her passing ability before, and you know now she's seeing herself on the ball more and more and executing as much as she can, I suppose. And you know, like we said again, they're creating some good opportunities, Pukekohe. They're just unfortunate that there's a person standing in the goal who's just at the moment stopping everything.
Yeah. And here come Bay Plenty up this left-hand side of the field. Nobody there, though, in the middle, and Jaina Suka takes it pretty easily. And now perhaps a load up for Puki. And you like that. Cool as ever, Michelle.
Yep. Just cool, calm, collected.
And Jaina wins a free hit there for Puki. You go back into that left pocket. Again, they've looked good when they can transfer the ball. This is it. Get players in motion. This is really nice. Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, some great intent, and I like the fact that Puki in this quarter, you know, they've had their key players on the ball a lot, which is why they're probably creating a little bit more. And look, you know, there's still a quarter to go, and we said it before, you know, that momentum to finish is always important.
Yeah, that's it. And you mentioned opportunities. They've had them, Puki. They've had, you know, certainly not as many as Bay of Plenty, but it might be a weekend where they rue some of the missed opportunities, not just in this game, but you know, throughout the weekend. The Puki ladies, because they've played some good hockey in periods. You see the ball go back there, 16-yard, right out near the sideline for Seedle.
There goes the long handle again.
It's going to work. Here is Divyanka. She's able to get past one. The pass.
Oh, Kashona.
Showing it out again. You almost have an extra defender when she's in the circle marking.
Yeah,
they don't have players in there. She just goes and marks the striker, and right on the sound of three-quarter time, makes another save for Bay, and they go in clean here. Not without some opportunity, though, for Puki. That save, we're going to be able to see it again, I'm sure, on a replay. Something special, but, man, what an effort so far from this Bay team. I think as equally impressive as they've been in attack, their defence has been good as well.
Yeah, agreed. Here we see the first attacking opportunity resulting in the penalty corner.
Yeah, this one's the stroke, I think. It's the old lolly scramble. That one was the save. They got another one after it. This is the
lolly scramble.
Yeah, this is it. Look at this.
Oh, Seedle's like, please don't let me.
Yeah, and I think it had to be a stroke call there because saves people just swinging at her considering the ball was sitting on her shoulders.
Yeah, exactly right.
put away by Tamar Hippie there.
I think after that, though, you know, Puki started playing into their own. I know they were 4-0 down, but that second part of that quarter was pretty much Pukekohe had quite a few chances, as we're seeing now.
Yeah, that last 5 or 6 minutes, I think, was all green, as we saw it. This one here.
Great ball.
The opportunity. Look at this.
Oh, my God.
Oh, what a great angle of it, too.
Yeah.
See it, and look, that's what it means to teammates to come running up. And that's epic stuff there. What a game here. Bay Plenty showing why they've been in the title hunt for the last 4 years in a row, wanting to steal it back off North Harbour at home here. It's going to be a huge showdown come tomorrow. Bay Plenty taking on North Harbour. Looking forward to that one already.
Yeah, I mean, finals hockey is always interesting tomorrow, and although it's not a scheduled final, it is a final in terms of the scheme of things, having to win the pool. So
we see some of the team out in support there, watching the last game of the day. And of course, a lot of players, friends and family, they'll be starting to get ready for the social this evening. We've got 15 minutes left here on the main stage for these two teams. Bay Plenty, 1 hand and 2 feet in tomorrow's final match up with North Harbour. Puki, they got some work to do and probably salvage some reward more than anything out of this one.
Yeah, exactly. If they can, finish on a high in this quarter, it just gives them some confidence leading into tomorrow, whatever the case is for them.
Yeah, so just looking slightly ahead, I think in the women's section, Puki will play Auckland, and Harbour will play Bay of Plenty. And I would dare say, with some of the results, we see a penalty corner here. Puki may need to win that game to avoid finishing it with the spoon this weekend. We just have to look at some of the maths here as we see some of this start here from Bay of Plenty. That onto the foot there of Jaina Suka.
Yeah, good numbers on defence, but just skill just to get a penalty corner in that environment from Orewa.
And just to give you all a little heads up, we're almost at half time in the second women's game, Auckland versus Wellington in the women's, and they're locked up 1-1. So who knows what the results could bring tomorrow until these two games are over. Penalty corner here at Bay of Plenty. Ooh. Oh, that one's unfortunate there. Just got it a little bit wrong, but lovely to see the two players come together, and a couple of apologies, a couple of guilty smiles, unfortunate there.
Yeah. Exactly right, and that's what we've seen over the weekend. Some good fair play, good camaraderie. Even though you're in battle, you can still have that companionship, and it's been great to see.
Yeah, so just looking at the ladders in this women's section, North Harbour, of course, they have 3 wins from their 3 games, locked into tomorrow's pretty much a final with 14 points. Bay of Plenty, they're sitting on 9 at the moment, so the bonus point win will send them to 14 to contest that one tomorrow. Wellington, they sit on 2 and are out there battling with Auckland at the moment. Puki, they're on 1 with their shootout loss. Obviously out here in front of us. And Auckland, they're yet to register a point, but are also out there in that battle tomorrow. So, lots going on in the grand scheme of things. One thing we can be sure of is North Harbour and Bay of Plenty will pretty much go head-to-head tomorrow for the crown jewels here, both on 14 competition points. So any win will do it.
Yeah, it'll be a really good battle, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think for Puki here, they've just got to salvage some, just some composure back. And we said it in other games, if they can just end on a high, it just flows into, tomorrow's game.
Yeah, and it's a team that certainly can do it. We've seen them. We see a little opportunity here.
I do not know how that is not going to goal, but it's a penalty corner
for back of the stick on the way out. But I have no clue how those two have tangled up enough with each other to not score that one. Oh, look at this on the One Foundation replay. Great ball. Look at this. First up saves, just sitting there. And I thought Jazz Fitzwalter had made the tackle of the day on her own teammate earlier in the game. That one might have beaten it there. I think It was Tamar and Shen just tangled up all over each other. So we got, this one might have hurt a little bit. Yeah, I think it looked like it got up just in the thigh or up in the knee area for Mia Walab. Take a couple of breaths.
She's okay. Never easy as a goalkeeper because there are, parts where the pads, unfortunately, don't
just a
get
couple
you,
little exposed spots.
This is interesting from this spot. Oh, no, she's taken it from the wrong one. I was like, I'm not sure how that works, but there you go. There's the right spot.
Yeah, interestingly enough, not many people know that 5 metre marker, that's as wide as the defenders are allowed to start. I haven't seen it for a long time, but the runners can actually start as far out as that 5 metre marker there. Now, that's what the marker's for on the back line, so you could maybe try and run down the injection.
Here we go, Pukekohe on the counter-attack.
Here comes Sugar, into the circle she goes.
Good pick.
Still going. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, penalty corner.
And it's solo effort, just making it happen on her own there, Sugar. But that's what you can do when you get up in the attacking zone and have a bit of a crack.
Yeah,
lovely
great
skill.
Piece of skill that we're going to see here again, just on the baseline 1-2. Oh, another great drag, and then she's just run into the wall of Kashona.
Yeah.
Always a difficult challenge if you're 1v1 with Kashona.
Yeah, and I'm not sure there's much better she could have got out of that situation, really. It looked like she's in a bit of trouble. Big drag past the second one, little show on the next, and penalty corner coming here for the Puki ladies. Let's see what they got. Where's Seedle? Bring the long handle up.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes she does go up there, and from down you would have thought she could have had a crack.
Shamina Leatham lays it off.
Ooh.
Just
above, a bit too high the initial shot.
Yeah.
Although it dipped and hit the backboard, it's umpire's call with how high that was going.
Yeah, just with people around, I think more than anything, we all know, it's got to hit the backboard, and it did in the end, but I think there's just too many people, and it was fairly uncontrolled.
Yeah.
There's a little bit difference there when it's we've got the potential to cause some danger, so though they'll wish they had it on the scoreboard, Puki, it's not quite executing the way that they should or could.
Yeah, exactly right. Good string of passes here by Puki, nice and composed. Probably some of the best hockey we've seen from them today in terms of just some composure with their passing.
Yeah, and again, I think the catalyst to almost everything that's been good, it's about to put her on the commentator's curse, but Devianka's been so good today. Yes, she had a little air swing there, but I'm pretty sure she did it on purpose.
Just a little fake pass.
Yeah, she's been around everything good that's happened for Puki. She's been really good.
Yeah, agreed. She's come on board and had a great tournament, and good for her. And it's always hard, coming into a new team, new environment.
Yep.
Her first Indians tournament. She had her first Heritage tournament earlier this year, and now she's at her first National Indians tournament, which is cool.
And Puki, they'll have to go and retake that one from the right spot. Jaina trying to go across the field. Couldn't link up that time. Priya Paso over there. We're inside 8 minutes to go here. 4-0 the lead for Bop. And just nobody up there for Puki. Here's Priya Kang. Here comes Sorty with this is trouble. On the inside, beats another one. On a green card, yeah. And I think more so just for breaking down the play.
Yeah, I think Oda will be like, well, I stopped the ball and I kept on going.
Yeah. Let me have a go at it. Never mind the green card. I'm going for a goal.
It's getting a bit loose now as we head into the closing stages of the game. Both teams making some unforced errors, and fatigue probably setting in here.
Yeah, and I did mention it a little earlier. I think this is the stage where Bay Plenty just try and manage these last few minutes, minimise the fatigue, reduce any chance of injury, those sorts of things happening in these last period. The result's pretty much in the bag now, and just get through to the war they've got on tomorrow with North Harbour.
Yeah, exactly right. But still, yeah, see, there's just another unforced error. But both teams obviously still trying to get the elusive another one goal for the fans.
Yeah, that's it. That's it there. And there has been a big turnout today across all the games, not just this one, but right through the tournament. There's been good crowds, which has been excellent to see. And I'm sure they'll show up again for tomorrow's set of matches. And just running through that very quickly in the men's section, Pukekohe A will play Wellington in tomorrow's men's final, first versus first in the two pools. I'll have North Harbour A taking on Auckland, Battle of the Bridge for third and fourth. What an epic one that's going to be. CD, well, they'll take on BOP, the Bay of Plenty A men, in the fifth and sixth game. And Wellington B will play Auckland B for men's A, seventh and eighth. So a cool slate of games there for the men's A sections. Now, we briefly spoke about the women's games tomorrow. We will see both these teams feature. What a ball. Hui Hepi there just couldn't get on the end of it, but that's the skill of Oriwa Hepi. And just following up the men's B section, Waikato will play Pukekohe B, and North Harbour B will play Bay of Plenty B.
See the crash in by Oriwa. Great vision just after a good piece of skill, and seeing a player undermarked and just unable to link up for that fifth goal.
Here come Puki out of their own end. Just under a bit of pressure. Still got it though. Searching for something, trying to find a little bit of space more than anything. Gets around, that's excellent. But cut out there in the middle of the field.
Nearly 4 to go, and as we said, in the bag for Bay of Plenty, but can we still see another goal to close out this game?
Yeah, both teams would love to finish on a high, whoever it is. It's been a little bit slow this quarter. Like I said, second game of the day for both teams. Third of the weekend, and I'd love to see just a little bit more.
Yeah, just the last little bit of injection of energy. And as you said, they can close out and enjoy the social festivities which are taking place tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. That long ball there. It's a bit of an opportunistic one from Puki, but I like them throwing it at them, every now and then. There was a player up there that just couldn't quite link up. Seedle going long handle. And just rolled up the back of the stick there, I think, of Priya Parsot. Make a tackle on Jazz Fitzwalter. Here's Stacey Wepper on the ball. One layer overhead.
Almost worked, but
yeah, a little scrappy. Like I said, it's the result in the bag's taken a fair bit of sting out of this one in these last 4 minutes or 3 minutes now. This team's trying to get through. Here we go. Here it is. Here's the overlap. Nice play there.
Thought they almost had infringement in the circle, but it's caught outside the circle for now. The first infringement
from young Shivani Dyer there, who's now gone into the circle. Jaina rolls that one in. And cleared to the sideline. Jaina Suka, of course, the captain of the Puki ladies this weekend. And here it is for Puki, just overrun.
Yeah, a few more missed connections.
Yeah, it's tired legs again.
Yeah.
Tough work. Easy for us to sit up here all day and talk about it, but they're out there running and doing it.
That's it.
It comes. I'll take the free hit just outside the circle there. Priya Kang unable to pull it under control. Just looking at the men's B placings and standings at the moment. Looks like Waikato might have wrapped things up already with that big result in the dying seconds over North Harbour. So I think they're uncatchable now on 13 points with a game to play. Auckland C, they've finished all their games and sit currently in second, though North Harbour B have a game to play also on 6 points. So, some points out of tomorrow's game will get them second place. Across it goes. They're not too far away from that. Bay of Plenty B sit on 4 points. And Puki B on the 2 points there. So 3 teams all locked up on 1 win at the moment. They're in Auckland C, Harbour B, Bay of Plenty B, and then Puki B. Well, they've won the shootout. So it's been all over the place other than Waikato in that men's B section.
Yeah, I mean, it's been interesting because Harbour took them, right down to the wire. So it's such a great competition when you're ahead on the points, but the games are just so tight.
Yeah, that's it. And with Harbour taking on Bay of Plenty tomorrow, well, they could have been 10 seconds away from
great
beating.
Skills again there by Sutner. She's had a pretty outstanding game for Pukekohe, you would have said in the game before as well.
Yeah, she's been good. The number 11 for Pukekohe. Yeah, what's crazy about that men's B is Bay of Plenty could beat North Harbour tomorrow, get them out of medal contention completely after being 10 seconds away from beating Waikato. So that's the men's B section, and that's how exciting the hockey is here. And that one will spell the end of this. You hear the hooter and the whistles there. Bay of Plenty convincing winners over Puki 4-0 in the end. Put it in cruise control for the last quarter, but they did the work, especially in the first half, getting up, and it was 2 penalty strokes along with a field goal in the penalty corner. They got them there 2 to Oriwa Hepi, and then additions to Tamar Hepi and Michaela Wepa, getting them there, and it sets up a grandstand finish tomorrow. Bay of Plenty and North Harbour both sitting on 14 points, and they'll play each other in what becomes a women's final, which is exciting come Monday.
Yeah, and what a match that will be. I think we're all looking forward to it. Finals hockey, pretty much, we'll call it. There's Kashona in shot. What an outstanding game she had to keep the goal line scoreless for Pukekohe.
Yeah, didn't have to do a huge amount, but the stuff she did was A, high quality, and B, executed incredibly. There's some highlight plays in there that you don't see from 90% of goalkeepers, 90% of players. But as a captain does, stands up, leads from the front, and man, what an epic performance by the Bay of Plenty ladies. And we will cross down to S-Man to talk to the captains. Fortunately, one of them is Kashona, so we'll hear from her shortly. S-Man, down to you.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Suresh, and I'm just here after our last ladies' game of the day with Kashona, Bay of Plenty captain. How did you find that today, Kashona?
It was pretty good. I would say that this is probably our best game that we had so far in the tournament. So, that was really good.
See, quite a bit of free play, a few strokes again for you guys. Lucky you win in the other end, eh? It was pretty tough battle for you.
Yeah, and I was pretty lucky for me, but thanks to the girls in my team, they played their, backs off, so it was easy for me. Yeah.
Okay. Good girl. Good luck for tomorrow, eh? Thank you. Thanks, guys. And now I've got Jaina, who is captain of the Pukekohe team. Jaina, not the result we wanted?
No, unfortunately it wasn't, but well done to the Bot girls on a really hard-fought game.
So a few decisions, and I think for you guys it's about rebuilding with the young girls here. We had quite a few young ones today.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really good to see the young players coming through. They're the future of the hockey and the future of this tournament, so it's really great to be able to include some of them this year.
And it's great to have young ones like you helping them through, so thanks, Jaina. Good luck for tomorrow, okay? See you guys. Okay, thanks everybody. You have a safe night tonight, and we will catch you tomorrow for the finals day. Thank you.
Thanks, S-Man, and good to see you've already got your hair and makeup done for tonight's social. That was the 2 captains, of course, from Bay of Plenty and from Pukekohe. Awesome to hear a couple of things. Obviously, Kashona thanking the girls in front of her for the work that they did. Like any good leader, thanks those around them and puts them first. And then equally from Jaina, talking about some of the young players coming through the tournament. And as we see the growth and development of it, I think that's the key to what's next for this tournament and for NZI. So, really pleasing signs from both sides there. And, hockey aside, it's been a fantastic weekend already. Looking forward to a big one tomorrow. The tail of the tape there, 4-0 in favour of Bay of Plenty. Hitu, we've got a big schedule lined up tomorrow. We've got men's playoff matches. We've got what now is the women's final, and we've got some men's B games in the mixer there as well. Looking forward to it tomorrow. I'm sure you've got a big job on your hands with selections and bits and pieces like that, tournament teams, all the rest of it. So thank you for your time over the weekend and again today. Thank you for joining us, your expertise and input. Those that have joined along online, thanks for watching some of the best hockey in the country. We'll see you tomorrow.